Good afternoon and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my beautiful co-stars, Judy Loge and Veronique Arsenault. Good afternoon, ladies.
Happy Monday.
I know.
Yes, happy cool Monday. For June, it's a little chilly out there. It's feeling
Well, you know what? I'm so pleased that summer happened on Friday.
Yes. If you didn't take your vacation, those 2 days, that was it.
Yeah, I took vacation, but I was out of town.
It was plus 30. Humidex like 35 for 2 days.
Yeah.
Loved it. But
very
now,
warm, but I love the heat.
yes, me too. I really do. We have a great show lined up for you today. Lots of great guests, lots of great topics for a quick chat portion of the show as well. But we're going to start our show like we usually do, which is a positive thought of the day. And Judy, you're up, sweetie.
I have that quote, which I guess I go to for comfort. It's beautiful. When you are going through something hard and wonder where God is, remember the teacher is always quiet during the test.
It's true.
So true.
So
That
hard,
is.
though.
It's a nice comparison, isn't
It
it?
is,
It's
it
a
really
nice
is.
thought,
Yeah.
you know, that,
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody's religious, but just the fact that I am is good enough for me because, like the teacher, I know my mother was a teacher for 35 years, and
Oh,
so
that's
she
right.
always was watching the classroom, but very quiet and letting the kids figure it out. But she was kind of, you know, guiding them in her mind, and if they needed help, she would. So it comes when
Exactly.
it's ready. God reaches out when he's
Yeah,
ready.
and it's interesting, because of course, you and I are both Catholic, but and go to the same church, but
And Irish.
and Irish, yes, very Irish, Acadian Irish actually. But it's interesting because that my faith is always what I go back to, and everybody has a different faith, even if you're, even if you're atheist, because you believe in something, whether
Exactly.
whether it's science or
No.
and for me, science and God are not mutually exclusive.
An atheist believes there is no God.
Right.
So,
So, like,
everyone
you
believes
believe in something.
I'm Christian, and I believe that I personally don't necessarily need to be inside a
Nope,
church
nope,
in
but
order to. I can kneel, drop to my knees anywhere, anytime,
Pray
and just
whenever.
close
Yep.
my eyes.
Yes,
And
yes.
He is always listening.
That's
so
so nice.
you know.
Yeah, it's true, and you often, especially when you're going through something hard, you feel like you should feel that presence, and sometimes it's harder to
It's
feel
different
it.
for everyone.
Yeah, it's harder to feel it, but I'm actually gonna relate it to something I did on the weekend.
Yes.
Something crazy.
Something-
she did
yeah.
on the weekend.
And
if you
it-
follow her on Facebook at all,
And it'll actually be, I posted some pictures on our Facebook page, so you will see them. But so I went away for a girls' weekend and a friends' weekend actually, because one of our friends' husbands came as well.
Yeah.
And
Poor guy.
yeah, so we left on Thursday. We had a
Brave
most
soul.
fantastic weekend. We went to Toronto. We had tickets to see Def Leppard and Journey.
Yes.
Right.
And Peter Frampton, he was the opening act.
Wow.
It was fantastic. So,
Nice.
but anyway, so one of my girlfriends said, about a month or so ago, she said, I really want to do this thing at the CN Tower. And I'm like, sure.
What's
I-
the thing?
No,
You
no,
didn't even
I
ask.
didn't even
Oh,
ask.
my
Wasn't dying.
Didn't even ask. Nope. And was dumb. I should have asked. So anyway, didn't look at video or anything. So then figured it out 2 weekends ago that she wanted to do the Edge Walk at the CN Tower. So for those who don't know what the Edge Walk is,
Right.
which I didn't know,
No.
so they strap you to a cable on the outside of the CN Tower, and you walk around the edge of it doing like these activities as you go. So big
Which is only about a 2-3
it's a
feet.
it's a sidewalk width.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
sidewalk width.
Yeah,
So
might be 3 feet
big
wide.
shout out to Haley, who was our guide. There was 6 of us on this Edge Walk, and you spend like 30 minutes walking around. So anyway, so you get up there, and there was 2 very young fellows behind me, Jack and Tiago, and then there was my friend Kara, my friend Sam, and then another young lady named Adele. So quick story. Anyway, so we get out there. The first 2 guys, the young guys, did it. So you had to lean back, right, and hang
You are
off.
tied.
You are very
You were
cabled
strapped,
in every
tied,
way.
harnessed, all.
But you have to lean back off the building, and that's the big thrill, right?
Oh.
So
No,
I had a
it's
hard enough. I had a hard enough time going up in the elevator. Okay,
Aw.
so I started to like I was getting sick. So anyway, we get out there, and I start to have a full blown panic attack.
I can
Like
probably see
full
why.
blown. Like I'm hyperventilating. I'm starting to breathe heavy. I'm crying.
I'm doing that just
Yes.
listening and
And
seeing
so
the photos.
anyway, and Haley, the guide, is trying to talk me through it, and I couldn't do it. And so here I am at the top of the building, and I couldn't do it. Kara did it, Sam did it, Adele did it. I'm like, okay. So then we start walking to the next checkpoint, and I started praying, right? Because I kept saying, God, just give me the courage to do this. I cannot come down off this building without having done this.
Yeah.
And I'm praying and praying. And so we did another activity, and for some reason I was able to do that activity. And then Jack, who was maybe 20, I don't know, starts giving me a pep talk.
Aw.
And he gave me a pep talk for 10 minutes, okay, as we're going through. And so I'm praying, I'm praying, God give me the courage. And then Jack is giving me the pep talk. So by the end of it, and you'll see the picture on our Facebook page, by the end of it, I'm hanging off the building.
See, you conquered it. You conquered it. You're looking over
Good
the
for
condo
you.
saying,
Good
hello,
for you.
everybody.
Yeah. Now, funny enough, though, I couldn't let go of the rope, even though I had one hand out, but
right.
even though I knew that my hand
do
was
it
not
with-
actually holding me on.
Good for
Yeah.
I
you,
couldn't let go of
Veronique.
the rope.
You did it.
Yeah.
Bravo.
No, bravo. That's
Conquered
huge.
a big fear is
Yeah.
the heights and the
huge.
letting go.
It is. It really is, because just looking at your photographs,
were awesome,
I was
though.
just
Oh, yeah.
beautiful view.
I know.
Beautiful
Of
view.
course.
But I'm just like,
I don't even remember what it looked like, but
No.
and it come back. It related to the quote
Fantastic.
because for me,
Yes.
God
Yeah.
was there,
Right.
and that
That's right.
He gave me the courage to
That's
get
right.
through.
Yes.
no.
He was
that's
watching
right.
over you
That's
quietly. Is
fantastic.
right.
We want to do a couple of shout outs actually to our viewers and friends.
Yeah.
Judy, you had somebody you wanted
Well,
to say
I
hi
want
to?
to say a very special hello to a lovely, lovely lady who never fails to watch our show. Her name is Irene Moore from St. John.
Oh, wonderful!
And she actually has a granddaughter, Carly Baxter, who graduated with my son last weekend from Dalhousie Medical School. And Carly's just an awesome girl. Irene, for coming up to us at the
Hi.
graduation
Thanks for
and
watching.
saying that you love our show. We love you too. Thank
Yes,
you.
we do.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to the most lovely man that I have ever met in
Wow.
our travels. Yes, Charlie. Hi.
Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Charlie Shepler, who lives in LA.
Uh-huh.
When the girls, you remember the story of when our
Yes.
girlfriends, the 16 of us, went to LA with our friend Maureen,
Yes.
who had cancer.
Yes.
Yep.
We had gone there, and we had gone down to Venice Beach
Mm.
and stopped in a little restaurant overlooking the
So nice.
Pacific
Yes.
Ocean, right? And we met him there. He was our waiter, and eventually we just got chatting about why we were there, and we were telling him our story, bringing her there, the Ellen Show, and we were going to be going to The Price is Right. Well,
So
his
much fun.
face just lit right up because he had done The Price is
Oh, neat.
Right
Yeah.
months before in honor of his sister who had
Oh.
cancer.
Oh.
And unfortunately, she passed away
Yeah.
before the show aired, I believe. But I just wanted to say hi because him and I became friends on Facebook.
Nice.
And every now and then he sends me just these little, have a great day, or thinking of
Aw,
you.
isn't that
And just
sweet?
keeping in touch with
Yeah,
each other.
it's
I keep
important.
telling him that someday I'm going to come back to LA and he wants me to go back and stay with him, and
It's
he'll show me
fun.
around.
It must be
and
in the budget
just
for
seeing-
Rogers. Let's go.
Well,
You know,
thanks,
we can do
Charlie,
a
and
show
we're the
from
angels.
LA.
Let's just
There
go.
we go.
Yeah.
Well,
that would be perfect. But
yeah.
I wanted to say hello to him, and now
Good.
he's going to be watching and checking us out because we're on YouTube
YouTube.
as
Very
well.
nice.
If you don't have Rogers, so you can
Yes.
check us out there.
Well, I have two quick ones. Alan
Yep.
Sutherland and Ronnie Dixon watch us quite
I
faithfully.
know they
so
do.
hi.
Hi, Alan. Hi, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Hi.
So we're thrilled. Well, you know what? I'm just happy somebody watches us. I'll be honest.
We
thank
do.
you.
I think we have quite the fan
we
base.
have 4
viewers.
people for
we
sure.
do.
Yeah.
You're right. And plus our families.
No, exactly. There was a lot happening here in Miramichi, like there always is. We
Always.
had the Josie Foundation happen this past weekend. Now you were there emceeing.
Yes, that's an amazing
Isn't it
foundation.
incredible?
It is.
Okay, yes, I
Yeah.
emceed that. I emceed all but for 1 year I was away, and the lovely Patty Quinn did that for me that
Yes.
year. Kyle Enright was the guest speaker that night. And
Okay,
we
and
always
who's
have a
he?
guest speaker. Well, it's always somebody that's affected
Yeah.
or has been affected with a long-term illness or
Yeah.
a chronic illness.
Went
And
to school with Kyle.
Kyle is a beautiful man, and he gave a very empowering speech, and he was he's battling brain cancer. And he just turned 45, and actually, I'd like to have him on our show pretty soon to
definitely.
Yep.
kind of capulate or whatever,
Yeah,
conquer
exactly.
what he's told us he already has accomplished. So I'd like to have him as a guest. In the meantime, he enraptured the audience. So what a story he had. And then it's a dinner, it's a fundraiser.
Right.
Again, for people that need economic assistance for those suffering
Yeah,
hardships.
when the family's going through
Uh-huh.
those times.
And we've been lucky to have MLA Jake Stewart on the
Yes,
show to
he-
talk about founding
He did
the Josie
find
Foundation.
it, yes,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
honor. He founded it in honor of his grandmother,
Right.
Josie Keenan Sturgeon.
Right.
And so it's been great. And there was Kelsey Gill there, who was a beautiful young girl going to St. FX, doing a BSc in science nutrition.
Right.
And she has started this Kilometers of Kindness campaign.
I did see that.
Isn't that amazing? So she thought, in honor of Arlene Danaher, who just passed away this past winter, and was loved by very many people, including her family who was there that night, that she would start this, she's going to run a marathon because Arlene inspired her.
Right.
And she's going to run approximately 900 kilometers over the summer. And she would like to get a GoFundMe page. She has it started for maybe people giving $1 per kilometer.
Incredible.
Yeah, and I said, I'm going to start a run too, but mine's going to be Go Find Me, because you'll end up Go Find Me in a ditch somewhere. That's going to be my new the side of the road. So she's doing that and giving all of her money back to the foundation.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's
yes,
great.
and then contributors.
Well, we have
beautiful.
another big thing coming up this weekend, which is the Relay for Life.
Yes.
Right? That's another big event that happens here in Miramichi.
Saturday.
And the hair cutting ceremony, I'm told, because we will be there doing the hair cutting.
Oh.
We have 9 people
wonderful.
lined up to donate and cut their hair
That's
for
exciting.
that. It is. It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And always have such a great turnout. So many local businesses
Yes.
set up around the track and camp out until midnight.
Yeah.
Still looking for teams, I believe.
I believe so.
Always.
Yeah, exactly.
pictures.
So
I just
that's
want to
happening.
scoot back to the Josie Foundation just for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So we all know that, you know, Gerard and Judy have been incredibly generous to many organizations around the river. But anyway, so they did make a donation on the weekend, and I just want to say, you know, how amazing you both are and continue to be. You donated $25,000 to the Josie Foundation on the weekend, and on behalf of everybody, I'm not going to say it for everybody.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, I want
you
to cry
so
because
much.
it can go so far, right?
Yeah.
It can.
And,
it can. It's much needed, and we appreciate every little.
Changing lives.
Yes.
Thank you. And also,
Definitely.
the Rotary Club of Chatham donated $15,000.
Oh,
Amazing.
did
We're not
they
going to
really?
cry now, are we?
Oh.
They
No.
did. And the money they raised from the wine and beer tasting gala all went to the Josie Foundation.
That's right.
And Kingston's donated $1,000, and the high school, Blackfield, donated $1,500. Another NSCR donated $650, or vice
Incredible.
versa. It was
know.
emotional, and I broke a little bit at the stand because Kyle is such an amazing individual. So
Yeah.
Well, we'll have him on soon.
we'll have him on the
Yeah,
show, and
definitely.
keep it up, Kyle. You're amazing.
You know, I'm getting off.
No, I know it's.
Which happens to us every week for some reason.
Yeah, but we don't know how lucky we are until
No.
when we see someone standing there. that's-
Miramichi, though. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
like
right.
you know,
The best.
you don't get much bigger hearts than
No,
Miramichi.
exactly.
You really don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on, I didn't know if anybody knew today. Today is the 4th anniversary of the death of the 3 police officers who were gunned down in Moncton.
Yeah,
It was that
And
time
we
again.
we just wanted to touch base and say that our thoughts and prayers are with their families today who are reminiscing and missing their loved ones. And you know, that gentleman, I don't care to say his name because I don't think he deserves even that. But 75 years. I believe is what he was sentenced
he
for
won't
the
see
3
daylight.
lives.
It's not long enough.
No, exactly. At 24 years old, it's a little
not long
disturbing
enough.
that he was even.
Because he could live to be 100, right?
I know.
Let's be
That's
honest.
just it.
But the families miss them on an ongoing basis. Today is just going to be really, really hard because it's like a person that loses their loved one on Mother's Day or something.
Yeah,
Every
I know.
Mother's Day is
It's
reminders.
when it comes around. The
that's right.
memorial that they had built, the statues of the
beautiful, yeah.
it's absolutely
It is.
beautiful. If you get a chance to go take a look at it and be near that.
Just
in
so
Moncton.
unnecessary. That's just...
No.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you know, it's sad. It's happening more and more. I had some friends. So we were in Toronto on the weekend, and,
Right.
and I had some friends that live in Pickering. And which is just outside of Toronto, and so he was supposed to drive into the city to see me on Friday, but he got tied up with some things that were going on. So they went to the Rib Fest in Pickering on Friday night, and then on Saturday night there was a shooting.
It's
There
just
was.
Yeah.
constant. And that was in Canada.
Yeah,
That one was in
Pickering.
Canada.
So
I mean, we have it happen a lot. The States is another story.
No, I know, and it's just it's incredible, you know, and
sad.
he said that, you know, he'll never go back, you know, and it makes you start to question if you want to go to public events.
I know.
No,
I know.
exactly. And well, I'm not going to lie, because when I was at the Cavendish Beach Music Festival last year for the entire weekend, that was a thought that crossed my mind. Did not, though, until I was in the middle of hundreds, if not close to 1,000 people, that I was like,
Easy target.
Exactly. If someone was looking out to take a large number, but it was a thought, it didn't stay there. The music was too good and all the country stars were too handsome. But it was a thought that come across me that if I needed to get out of here fast or make a run for it, where am I going to go?
Yeah, and see, we were at the Rogers Center in Toronto for
because this was outside.
Yeah, for Def Leppard, Journey, and Peter Frampton.
Woohoo!
Right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so wonderful. But I never worried
never
about it,
crossed
and
your
it's
mind?
funny because I often have that thought because of the work that Dad does, of course.
Right.
Just, he's in security. But it never crossed my mind.
I'm
No.
with Audrey.
No,
We went to
it
Madison
did.
Square Garden for the 2 Jingle Balls back to back
Oh,
with
yes,
all the
I remember.
superstars.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I thought the same thing. We were front row, like not front row, we were third, fourth, or fifth row at each one. We were third row and then sixth row at the second one. All I could think of was the people that were packed in there and the superstars on the stage, and I thought, what vulnerable people we are. And then I tried to fall into this concert, but I was always like Audrey, the back of my mind. There's so much craziness going on.
Well, I just want to touch on one incident that did happen that wasn't close to home, but it is close to home because people that we know from Miramichi were there, and that was in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, that was
the shooting in
horrendous.
Vegas, and a close, not close friend, but a girl that I work with was there, and the thought of what happened and where she was and everything that happened around her, I'm like, my thoughts are still with her, and that she's able to get through all of that mentally because exactly, people around her were injured.
Yeah, of course. Oh,
you know what I
many
mean?
lives
And
were taken.
to try and run for safety, I never want to have to experience that myself, and my thoughts are with those who end up finding themselves in those situations, and that,
So let's talk about something happening.
Okay.
Let's talk about
and I posted you'll see a picture on our Facebook page there in a minute too. So you were at something very special last week.
Yeah, and I'm going to cry again. Stop.
You'll only have 1 minute to fill us in.
Oh, good.
before
So
we're
cry
gonna
for a second.
Okay. It's just that our oldest son did reach the milestone of graduating from medical school.
Yeah.
And it's a long journey. You go all 12 years of high school, and then you go 4 years of your science degree, and then you go through your 4 years of medical, and now he's going into internal medicine, probably another 4 years. So we were really proud of him because he just focused on that and did wonderful, and he was happy. And as parents, you're just saying, okay, now you're on a new chapter of your life, and we are very supportive and proud.
So proud of Evan.
Yes, definitely.
So congratulations
definitely. It
to
was
Evan.
amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely. Congratulations
And
to
Carly
you,
and
Evan.
all of the class.
Oh, yeah.
Of
for
DAL
sure.
2018.
Yeah, we have a great show lined up for our viewers today. We have a couple of guests that are coming on to talk to us. If you might have heard of Wings of Change, so you don't want to miss that. And then we have a couple of young guests coming on to talk to us a little bit about theater, where you two are going to love to hear about
my
that.
bag. Theater's my bag.
No, exactly. There'll be a lot of chatting going on during that portion of the show. Don't forget that you can also check us out on Facebook, right?
Yes.
And on
Hear these
YouTube as
pictures.
well. So we'll be back right after the break with more Have a Chat. Don't go away. And we're back with more Have a Chat. We have our first guest joining us, Nikki Bro and Kevin Kavanaugh. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having
Familiar
us.
face you are, but we've not had Kevin on before. Nikki, you've been on once only.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here. And yeah, Kevin was a little shy, but
He has no option.
He'll settle right
We
in.
bring it out. We bring the
You'll
best
never
out of
be
you.
the same after today, but that's okay.
You have no options here with us. Yeah, you're good.
The floor between 4 roses.
You're here to talk to us about something that's very, very important and dear to you, which is Wings of Change. But first, I want you to talk to us about who you guys are, in case there's anybody out there that doesn't know.
sure. Go ahead.
I'm Kevin Kavanaugh. I worked 28 years in Reynolds Penitentiary, Atlantic Institution. I retired back issue. I developed PTSD and was diagnosed in 2012. And work through hard times and learn to live with it and,
Kevin,
in a
pardon
positive
me.
way.
Would you say from your work in the correctional and the facility like that, that's a terribly difficult job, would you say that's where it stemmed from?
Yes.
Your years and years of being in the Renew's Penitentiary? Because it can be from other things coming at you as well.
Yeah,
But
that
mainly
was
that was the,
trigger.
it is
Yeah,
really,
that's the trigger.
really common amongst workers in
Exactly.
the system.
That's
Yeah,
just it.
a lot of first responders.
Oh my gosh.
First
that's
responder
for
field,
sure.
and it's broad. The first
Yeah.
responder field is broad. And,
Exactly.
You're doing well,
And
Bo.
Nikki?
And I come from the corrections at the beginning of my career, I guess, and then I worked with the frontline with abused women and children for
Right.
a long time.
Okay.
And then I developed operational stress, PTSD,
Right.
moral injury from my work for many years in the field. So because of that, I'm not the same person I used to be. I consider myself being blessed with PTSD because I choose to see it as in a positive instead of a negative, because there's enough negative that's going on with my mind, body, and soul.
Right.
So I choose to see it as a positive. So when I have bad days, it's okay to have bad days, but I pick myself up.
So how did you, and maybe this isn't what you're here to talk about, but I guess I'm really interested. How did you decide there's something not going on that should be, if something's not right, where do I go?
Well, at first, as a first responder in any part of this field, understanding we're the strong ones, we're the helpers, we're the ones that run into things, run into traumatic events, not away. We're the strong ones.
Right.
So when we start feeling ourselves breaking down, so which means we're not sleeping, we're avoiding, we're not engaged as we were, we think, oh, it's just a bad day, it's just a bad week, we're going to overcome this.
Right.
I know for myself, I didn't acknowledge it at first because I was the tough one.
Yes.
So my body was slowly shutting down, losing hair. I was doing things that, taking natural vitamins and supplements, which was healthy, only to contribute to me having blood clots and then end up dying from it. So I am living proof that if you go have symptoms and they go without being treated,
Right.
I am living proof that you can die from stress.
I've never heard that term, but I like it, moral injury.
Moral injury.
yeah.
You know, I just have not heard people using
No, I
that
haven't
ever,
either.
and I like it because it's so prevalent.
Well, exactly, and for me, it's the right and wrong. That's like, no one should be doing this towards others. When we see these things, we know there's right and we know there's wrong, and when you're trying to help and fight the good fight, and you're not seeing anything positive happening from it, it's really hard.
So when you're both having a PTSD moment, must be quite the day. When
Well,
you're-
we
I'm just
actually-
being funny, but it's not a funny thing. It's just that the two of you are experiencing similar things. So you embrace each other.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
the beauty of it.
Yesterday,
just
for
it.
instance, I had a bad day. Just one of those days it didn't feel right.
Right, Kevin.
And she's there to
Support you and vice
support
versa.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
So you're here to
And
talk
that's-
to us a little bit today about the Wings of Change, the peer support group,
Yes.
correct?
First responders,
So specifically for first responders. So I want you to tell us a little bit about the group and how you guys became involved.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so many years it was brought to my attention that first responders, paramedics and whatnot at the time, were dying a high rate by suicide. And I'm like, wow, that's... So I started looking for support groups and looking for any kind of group to help first responders. Nothing to be found.
No.
So in 2016, I ended up finding this model, peer support, Wings of Change peer support. So when I seen the model online, I reached out to the lady. Her name is Natalie Harris. So how it came up about, she, in 2014, after 3 overdoses and lengthy stay in a rehabilitation center, when she left the hospital, there was nothing in the community in peer support, in structured peer support. And that's in Ontario.
That's scary.
Barrie. So she missed that aspect. So she gathered, talked with her friends from a focus group. They developed Wings of Change. And this is actually modeled after, and I'm terrible with it, Robin's Blue Circle. It's a staff sergeant in Ontario. He's retired, but he had a peer support Robin's Blue Circle, and Wings of Change has been adapted off of that.
Okay.
So the actual first Wings of Change in Canada started in Barrie, Ontario with Natalie Harris, February 1st, 2016.
All right.
So
Well,
since
brand
then,
new.
exactly.
Pretty
And
much.
so, and now looking at today here in Miramichi, We are over a year. It was April 4th of 2017 was our first one, so we've been a year.
It's the only one in New Brunswick,
Only
correct?
one in New Brunswick. Second in Atlantic provinces.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm proud that we have that.
And it's more and more prevalent that you see that people need this help. And so for us here in Miramichi, we have our meetings every second week, every 2 weeks. But it turns out we consider it the first Wednesday, the third Thursday in every month. From 7:30 to 8:30. We hold it at Nordine Rec Center. The reason why we chose that place is just safe.
Yes.
It's safe. It's hard enough going through what we go through. There's still very much of a big stigma attached with mental illness or asking for help. And this is only if they know that they have,
That they even consider themselves to have a problem.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Acknowledge
Right?
it.
which
And
is really hard.
it is hard to get people to do that when you see
No.
the signs and you say they should be going to this support group, but you can't get them there.
Well, and that's exactly it.
And one of the big things is we wanted, from talking to Nikki earlier, we wanted to bring Kevin on because it's such a huge thing for a man to come forward and say that he's struggling and has trouble, correct?
Absolutely, because we're supposed to be the strong ones. We're the ones that
Stronger
stand
again.
up.
Strong silent type, right?
Yeah,
Strong silent.
You see
and-
more and more and more and more men
and-
all the
and-
time, every day.
And yeah, it's well, we're supposed to be the strong ones. It doesn't affect us. It's part of our job.
Just let it go.
You're
let
human.
it go. But then it also impacts your family, your friends, your
Life.
going out where you sort of just keep to yourself and you fight in this battle, but it's internal and it's
real.
It's
a real fight.
getting together twice a month when you meet together with fellow first responders and you help heal each other through talk, fellowship, and education because we have education there for people.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's been
You're
really
a tremendous
yeah.
person. Let's talk about the first responders, because the first thing that jumps to my mind are the ones you see most every day. The firefighters and the ambulance attendants, the paramedics and the police force. But it goes beyond that. You're talking ground search and rescue, and just if you could elaborate on some of your other first responders.
Oh, certainly. So your healthcare professionals, child protection workers, I have a hard time, judicial workers and corrections, because
Yes.
the problem is from province to province, the first responder is not considered the same under their category.
Okay.
So here, like, this is why with this group here, it has it
covers
everyone.
everybody.
And there's even funeral home workers and animal care workers.
Because you have coroners
'Cause,
there,
yeah.
coroners
Yes.
that have to go and
'Cause-
pick up the body of,
Well, you have to think of
Exactly.
all the different types of trauma
Yeah.
that those people have to, who would encounter that.
Well,
It's a
exactly.
wide range.
And sometimes they don't consider themselves a first responder because it's become
No.
so known that, police, fire, ambulance.
I know, that's what I'm
Yes.
saying.
And that's all they know.
Yeah.
But it's
True.
not.
It's
Anyone in the first responder field is someone that is, going towards danger. The ones that on a continuous basis is living and experience the trauma just by helping people.
Yeah.
And so, or animals. And
Okay.
perfect example was
Yes.
not long ago, we were at the wellness fair, holistic fair, and a lady, she said she was volunteering with the SPCA for over 20 years. And she had to step back because it was taking an emotional toll and physical toll.
to
And then
see.
it was like, wow,
That's-
you're the reason, perfect
right.
example.
Another person coming forward.
I think a lot of people relate, when you first hear that the PTSD, I immediately go to the military.
Yep.
Right? Don't even think of all those other areas that it could possibly affect.
Well,
so this is
exactly.
huge.
Yeah, and it's operation because a lot of times they think it's just PTSD. In order to attend the groups, you don't even need to have a diagnosis.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's
a,
good to
it's
know.
a fellowship. It's a, a lot of times if there's even stress going on, or they don't understand, why they're shutting down or becoming distant or isolating themselves, the group is for them. We're not affiliated with anyone. We are just volunteers. We are not a nonprofit group, just volunteers doing this, a support group. We fall
Support
under the self-help
Okay.
and peer support category, because there's the ones that's clinical. So the people that come to the group, we encourage for them to seek professional help. But we are also there for concurrent at the same time.
Yes.
So there's an aspect clinically that we can never do.
Yeah.
We
That's
can
right.
never do. But there's an aspect, the clinical side could never do than a peer support, because you're reaching someone, we don't know how many times we hear, me too. So when you're feeling alone, and even me, I'm not a shy person, and when I'm talking and I'm saying something and I'm like, well, I didn't understand why this is going, and the first thing you hear someone say me too, you're like, wow.
Yeah, no, another one to join in.
Well, exactly. I'm like, okay, so what worked for you?
Yeah.
And they would say, and I'm like, wow, so my doctor told me this, this, and this. He said, well, I tried this. And so I tried that. I'm like, son of a gun.
Do you see what's your ratio of male to female in your group when you meet together in Nordine? You getting more males coming forward?
More males for sure.
Good.
And where we are the only one in New Brunswick, we do have some from out of province attending our group. We're hoping to extend it, not us, Wings of Change, like Moncton, they might be looking at it, Bathurst. Canada-wide, they're looking at different launches that's going to happen in the near future. So it's just getting this on board and getting people to know and understand that what it's about, because some people think, you know, it's just another support group.
Yeah,
right
you're
now
just going to
there's-
sit down and chit-chat.
Yeah.
Right now there's 20 chapters across Canada.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Very helpful.
What are
So-
some of the things that, so as a family member, what are some of the, or as a person who may be struggling with PTSD, what am I looking for? Like, what are some of the symptoms that I'm looking for?
Well, like you
In
feel
general.
alone. You feel alone a lot of times. Yeah.
Even in a
You
group.
feel like you're battling this by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
So for someone as a family member looking at them, isolation.
Isolation.
If they saw them enjoy things and all of a sudden they're not
They're
enjoying
not doing that
anymore.
anymore.
mood swings,
Yeah.
poor sleeping patterns,
That's right.
change in eating habits,
Drinking more?
drinking more. Yeah.
Addiction.
Self-medication,
More
right?
what?
Self-medicating.
Oh, yes, the addictions is
Addictions
yeah.
is a big
Can
part
be
of
part
it.
of it.
Yeah, because you're just trying to escape no matter what kind of the addiction is.
Yeah.
You want to escape because you want the brain to slow down. And you're not engaging like you used to before. We used to love fishing or whatnot. Like at one time I used to love playing the guitar and learning that when I had it. Now I don't enjoy picking it up like I used to.
I heard you play them.
You enjoy it now.
That was a little dig there, I think.
Okay, I'll get them later. Don't worry. But that's a
also-
perfect example of
Yeah.
mine.
But also, I feel by coming forward, there's a fear that you're going to lose support from
Right.
Your immediate
you know,
family and friends?
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be judged or stigma comes with it, right?
That's
And,
right. Exactly. Again, going back to the mental, the stigma that the mental issues have and
We
stuff
never
like that.
we don't talk, although we talk more about it now.
No,
we never
but-
talk about mental health, right? Because it is that fear that, you know,
It's a
people are
sign
going
of
to look at us
weakness
different,
and- yeah.
or they think that you're faking it, right?
It's
It's, you know, because you can't, when you break your leg, you know it, and everybody knows it.
Right.
Right?
The X-ray can prove it.
Right, but when things aren't connecting the same way in your mind, and that piece of you is broken, you can't see it.
Yes,
That's-
and that's how you
like-
feel, and that's
Yeah.
a perfect way. And what we try to let people know, like some wounds are not visible,
No,
and
that's
that's
just it.
and just explaining that because some people say when they reach out or they say I need help, and they're saying, "Well, I've seen you all over town, and you're smart." Like the
Yeah.
average
It's a
person,
facade
Yeah.
a lot of
That's
the
just
time.
it.
if
Yeah,
people see me
exactly.
like this, well, what does the face of PTSD and workplace injury look like?
No, that's
No,
just it.
yeah.
Until they do something life-threatening themselves, with, like you said, the rates of suicide are so high in this.
Oh, definitely.
That, like, where is the point in which, you know, they can get help or we can recognize that they need help and be able to step in? And this group is an open, safe place where they can, you know, come and talk. Is there a specific protocol as far as the meeting or what it is you're going to talk about, or different things that you can tell them to help with whatever their issues are specifically? Is there something you follow?
we do follow a guideline. It's very
Okay.
Structure.
very structured meeting.
Oh, it is? Okay.
And there's a list of topics you can put in a cup, and we'll pick out a topic.
Oh, perfect.
And if you feel like talking, you have 3 to 5 minutes to talk, or about your ideas on the subject. It might be stigma, it might be family issues. Could be, there's
Or search
Yeah.
for
there's
help.
like 20 different topics.
That's
Or
great.
if there's another topic you'd like to talk about, throw it in there.
Okay.
And if you want to share, you can share. If you don't want to share, and sit back and listen. And
Have
Just
you had
talking
any
is so
people,
therapeutic.
sorry, Audrey, have you
No.
had any people talk about suicidal ideations? Do they do they come out, like, you know, how it's very obvious that people do have those suicidal thoughts because you see it all the time, people taking their lives, but this is going to help them kind of steer away from that, but do they come forward and say, I almost did that?
It's interesting you say that because we are structured and solution focused, but no trauma talk allowed.
Okay,
because we
no.
are not the professionals.
Okay, no
Right.
trauma.
Yeah, so what happens is someone starts talking about an ideation or something traumatic that happened.
Yes.
Well, due to confidentiality, but also you can trigger someone else in the room.
I see that. Oh, that's
Okay.
interesting.
I was gonna check, yeah.
So the triggers and the thing is, some people say, oh, if someone has to see something to be triggered. No, like even a word, just talk about a situation. That's
right.
as easy as a trigger can
Ah,
happen.
you avoid all that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we completely avoid. So this is where we say the solution based is. So we have readings. We have volunteers within our group that does readings. We are the facilitators, but it's not our group. We encourage, in which we do have some members now actually volunteering to chair the group, which was
Good.
they had a hard time at first, and now they're volunteering. Like, yeah.
Great.
So then we have readings. Then we have that positive discussion time, and then if there is a trauma talk or something that's really going sideways, we put that time out.
Exactly.
And then we finish it off. But then afterwards, we have just as equally as important as the sharing. So during the time, we don't talk when someone else talks. And so we mark down, we have paper and pen saying, oh, when Kevin was sharing, he said something that I want to ask him after the group is over.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
when the group is over, I'll go up to Kevin and I'll say, oh, when you mentioned brain waves and whatnot, what did you use for that?
Perfect.
Interesting.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. We're going to be going to break for our next guest, but we wanted to let our viewers know that Wings of Change, actually, the peer group for Miramichi is on Facebook, so you can check it out. We'll definitely share it, and for all of you out there, we want to say thank you to Nikki and Kevin for coming on and telling us
Please, people
about.
go. If they're
Yes.
fighting it, go seek
Yes.
help and support.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Yes, we'll be back with more Have a Chat after the break. Don't go away. And we're back with more Have a Chat with our second guest joining us now. We have Naomi McGowan and we have Sam Kroll.
Nailed it.
I knew it. However you want to pronounce
And they're
it. Thanks,
fabulous.
guys. He's been on before. He knows me.
Good.
I've got it. Oh, yes, that's right too.
Phenomenal.
Well, welcome back.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
We are so excited about what you guys are here to talk to us about.
We're so excited to finally
us
share it
in.
with people. Like we've been just be able to put a few things on Facebook, so to have us here is we're so thankful for it. So thank you.
So this is like the launch of it. If you haven't seen it on
Yes.
Facebook, you're going to hear it
This is-
here first.
This is the official news right
exciting.
now.
Yes. Yay! So what's happening? Tell us what it is.
What is happening is that Naomi and I, have decided to start a new theater fringe festival in
Love
Miramichi.
Theater
Yes.
Fringe
Fringe
And
Festival.
you know what?
I love it.
Miramichi and the region is such a
Hot
hotbed
place.
of,
I know.
Hot.
creative
Culture.
energy,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
we're seeing productions all over the place, and I love it.
I do.
Yeah,
too.
different groups, different organizations are just producing so much fabulous entertainment.
Yep.
It's just,
Agreed.
you
Love
can't get
it.
enough.
Love it. Can I be in it? Can I be one of your plays, like an
course.
old lady or a mag lady?
We were
or,
having this conversation before.
Oh, were we?
Or, like a
Well, if you come
whatever.
across a character that you think would work for me,
Oh,
let
of
me
course.
know.
Well, the thing is,
For all of you guys.
yeah, exactly. We're trying to do a thing with this festival, especially with having a lot of inclusivity with different ages. Because we knew growing up
He's
when
talking about us old
I
ladies.
know. I
old
got
lady.
that. I got
Well,
that.
because I'm the senior here, so I'm targeting me.
So we just knew, like, when we were growing up, what we saw, like, with theater was, like, it seemed to be focused a lot in high school, middle school. So we're trying to open up that opportunity for younger people to work with older people and, like,
Yeah.
all to mix up for all ages.
Good for
Golden.
you.
They could do the Golden Girls, the new Golden Girls.
Golden
I
Girls.
want to be,
Oh,
I
my.
want to be Estelle, will I? The old goat. What? No offense to her, but.
No.
Well, she wasn't a vote.
Her character
So
was.
were you
True.
inspired by anybody for this endeavor?
Well, yes, of course. So we were very close with the great man Lloyd Cameron.
Me too.
That's
So
Mr.
I know.
C. That's
yeah,
right.
Mr.
Mr.
C.
C.
Yes.
Yes.
So we did this kind of in the spirit of him because last year with it being just so unexpected, we definitely wanted something that was in his spirit. So we thought something that included a lot of people because that's how we got to know him. We got to know him, I think, in the same show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Godspell.
yeah, I think we.
Oh, were you okay?
Yes, we
Wouldn't
both.
he be
No.
proud?
Yes. So we just kind of thought of the idea of like, if he happens to pass, we want to make sure that his spirit can live on in some way.
beautiful?
So
That's right.
what
And
we're
I
trying to
miss
do.
him so much.
Oh, we
I
love
acted
him.
with him for 20-some years under his direction.
So The name of the festival is?
Oh yes. So the name of the festival is we're calling it the MRC Festival, which stands for the Miramichi River Community Festival.
Yes.
And also is a loving little hint there. If you notice the MRC for Mr. C.
Mr. C.
That is the coolest.
I
Like,
know.
leave it to you to think of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we tried.
We miss him dearly.
Double
We miss him
entendre,
dearly.
good thinking
We
there.
miss him
That'd be
So
quick.
what's coming up with the festival? What are you doing? What's the plans?
So we have auditions coming up this weekend,
Okay.
Friday and Saturday at MBCC. So that's all ages.
And what is it you're putting on for that?
So we're actually auditioning for so many things.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
have lots
okay.
of acting roles you can
Okay.
audition for. We have volunteer roles you can audition for. We're actually even looking for scripts from
Yeah.
across New Brunswick to put on maybe stage readings, or if we think we can put on a full production for the festival. We're
Yeah.
looking all over, just for kind of a little bit of everything.
So tell me how the festival's going to work though.
Okay.
So like it's a week long.
Yes.
And
So.
I'll shush.
Oh no! Shush,
I'll
no.
shush. It's okay. I am. I'm very excited because I actually am thinking about auditioning.
Oh,
Well,
this
okay.
is
Oh,
great.
I'm so excited.
From almost falling off a building to whatever, eating
Living on the
eating-
edge
eating
every
snake
day.
soup.
No, that's never gonna hashtag 2018 year of experiences. Go ahead.
But the way that we're going to run this festival, so if you're familiar with maybe like a fringe style festival, that just means we're going to be doing multiple shows in multiple venues.
Okay.
So
Okay.
since we've decided, we've noticed a nice little pocket has formed in Chatham with like the Vogue Theatre and like Creative Grounds in the Loft.
Yes.
We're decided to use those 3 venues to put on smaller shows, musicals, plays, stage readings,
little
work in
things,
progress shows that we're
Okay.
working on.
You said the
Okay.
loft?
The Loft. So that's a little space just above
Above.
Creative Grounds.
Above
Oh.
Creative
Yes, I believe the
Grounds.
Point
Yeah.
Church, they do like
Yes.
occasional
Yeah,
services
that's
there in the
right.
winter, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yep,
That's
that's
going
right.
to be so
Wow.
awesome.
Tell us
So-
your part, Naomi, if you don't mind, how this all came about for you and being involved with Sam. And how, was it?
Well, Sam and I have always been involved in like lots of different things together. I've been in his plays, we've been in plays together, and he approached me with this idea at Drama Festival in Fredericton actually.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, let's do it. So we've just been working together on getting funding for it and organizing it and finding acts and stuff. So yeah, I'll be with him at auditions and we'll be directing the shows together and just putting
is
it all
it again?
together.
It is
Auditions?
August.
Or the show, the
We'll
festival.
go with auditions first.
Yes.
The important dates.
Yes.
So the important dates of our festival, we have June 8th and 9th. So that's this Friday and Saturday for auditions at MBCC.
What time
then-
again?
Oh, and they'll be from 1 to 4, and then I believe 6 to 9.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll do that for both of those days.
Well, we
Hang
have to
on,
book
hang
you
on,
to
6
get
to
an
9.
audition.
Well, you can book in. We are welcome to walk-ins because we
Yeah.
just know that is the Miramichi way. Love a good old walk-in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You just
Yeah.
sit
So-
and wait your turn from 1
Yes,
to 4.
of course. We if you want to book in, that'll help us a little bit with our scheduling. But yeah, we're welcome to having anyone just come on
Monologue
by.
and a song, or how
Well,
are you doing
don't
it?
actually need to bring a monologue in. We have readings for you. If
Oh,
you want to prepare
okay.
a song, like if you want to audition for the musical or for something like that, then you would bring a song.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like a little
But-
verse and a chorus of anything
Yeah.
that you feel
Yes.
comfortable singing and feels like shows your range.
Like
you know.
these boots
Yes.
are made for walking in.
Oh,
It's not-
oh yeah.
I can dance. I can't
A little
sing though.
little shimmy.
I can act, but you know what?
I
don't
have the
know what's
boots
there for
on.
me.
You just can't see them because of the table.
And then the festival is when?
So the festival is actually going from August 13th, and now it's till
17.
Yeah.
We just
Good.
added on an extra day.
I like that.
yeah. We had so
because
many big
The
ideas
festival
that
itself.
Yeah.
kind of shoved.
I like those dates.
So
Yeah, we tried.
this is not just one show that's going to happen on those days. This
Yes.
is the multiple
So the
at
way-
all these different venues.
So we're
right?
going to release a schedule soon, of course, and
Okay.
it's going to run basically throughout the day. There'll be different shows going from around, like I believe, noon to like 10 p.m. that night. So each night we're going to end with our main stage musical that we're writing.
Okay.
So I've decided to do a Bare Naked Ladies musical.
Oh,
I know.
love it.
I was thinking, what's the most Miramichi thing in the world? You turn on that radio, it's going to be Bare Naked Ladies. So yes, I know, right? I know. I know.
She's not auditioning. She just backed out.
I'm going to.
Oh my God, do it.
know?
Do it. We need it. We need all the roles.
Will the shows happen simultaneously, or will you stagger them so that I can run and see this one, I
Well,
can run and see that one,
The
or
way we kind of wanted it to run is that we wanted to make sure everything was kind of like touched on, so like not too many things overlap. Just with our
Okay.
first year, kind of trying this format
that's right.
out.
It's going to be trial
So-
and error, right?
So we have lots of shows, but we've also tried to pair up other things. Like we have a lot of free workshops happening, up to I
Okay.
believe 7 or 8 workshops.
Workshops. Ooh, and
Yeah,
those
like-
are those happening over the festival dates?
Oh yeah, and
okay.
so like even though the festival, there is like a ticket
I have
we
a little actress in my house.
Yes. Oh, yes,
She's
I
going to want
remember.
all this information.
Of course.
She has an audition this week, actually, on Wednesday for Madagascar.
Oh, the Madagascar. That's what you're working on.
Yeah.
I'll be working on that.
I
too,
just
helping
got to
direct
throw
with
in
that.
that these two young people are
I
extremely
know.
gifted on stage,
Exceptionally.
have
Yeah.
won many,
Yeah.
awards and
Exceptional.
leads in plays and writing plays, and I've been to the most of them, and I just can't tell our viewers
No.
how gifted you both are.
Thank
Yeah.
And you're taking it another step now.
I'm,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
You're
so
upping it.
proud. Yeah, and I mean I've known Sam for years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
And years.
Little
Naomi
baby.
He's
and I
not
did-
old enough to know him that
Little
long.
baby.
Naomi and I did Mamma Mia last summer. Oh, we had
We're
so
missing
much
you at Footloose.
fun. I cannot do another one this summer. I'm too busy, but you're in it. And so Footloose is coming up too.
Yes, I can't wait to see
That's
that.
But
exciting.
what kind of, say, if I wanted a part, just pretend, because you know I act.
Yes.
What would be one of the plays? Can you talk about one that I might be able to fit into? Just an
Yes.
example, like
So, for
picture me in a
instance-
part.
Because I'm assuming you have plays that you know you want to
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
So we have like, I believe the way we're helming it is that you're helming 4 productions and I'm helming about 5 productions.
Okay.
So just because we're trying to view this as like a full job for ourselves, we're just
Right.
filling our whole week with as many shows as we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the shows I always think would be great for you is we have a show called Semi-Sweetheart that I wrote, I believe, in 2014 for the hospice when
You
they had their
wrote
night
Oh,
of
yes, I
chocolate.
remember, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a show that's just about 2 friends. A friend has found out she's terminally ill, and it's just them reflecting on their friendship together.
Wow.
So it's just a nice moment, a really comedic show, even though it has like the idea of it's terminal. It's about celebrating the friendship you had with that person all your life and rekindling a love, even if you hadn't seen each other for a long time.
So 2-person play, 2 females.
The 2 females and a male. So a
And a
male
male.
that plays many roles and 2 female leads.
So
Yeah.
Judy and I.
Judy, and
Yes.
it's got
Yes.
comedic places all over that. You're perfect for that. You
Well,
got the timing. you're
And
good.
maybe George Clooney could pop
Oh,
in
yeah. I
or
think we-
something
that's
like
definitely
There,
about
I
it.
think you should call
I'll
him
give
for
him
the
a buzz.
male,
When we
I'll
get
the
the
give him
male
a
right
buzz.
lead there.
sponsorship, we're going to get George
Definitely.
Clooney.
Yeah,
like,
get
right
rid of them
out here.
all for a couple of
So
days.
we know that Judy is a fantastic actress.
Yes.
So what about the people
rest
like
of us.
me who don't act? But I'll be honest, I actually really am. I think I actually am going to audition.
Yay.
I actually think I am going to audition.
Good
So,
girl.
but like, would you encourage? And I don't just mean me. I mean not just because I'm sitting here in front of you. Would you encourage people who don't act on a regular basis to come and try this out?
Absolutely.
I could coach you. You could be my friend in the play. And George Clooney could be our man.
Can I make out with George Clooney?
Oh, yeah, 100%. We'll write it in.
Is that an
If not,
option?
we'll write
But
it
she
in.
could because I have experience and Veronique I know has talent.
Yes.
So with my experience and her talent together, I could coach her.
We definitely could blend it. We're very much working on the idea of like us working as a community to do these shows.
Right.
Because I think what we've learned, especially as both being directors and writers of certain things, that the best kind of shows come from just everyone kind of helping each other.
I know.
Even those are
I
like an
know.
authority role of a director, just accepting what other people say, because
Yeah.
not everyone has all of the best ideas.
Yeah.
Everyone together has the
I
best
know.
ideas.
Well, what about the fact that, are they all musicals? Because I would love to act, but I cannot sing. Unlike some people who don't admit that maybe possibly that's not their thing.
Let it go.
Let it go. I'll tell you, I don't sing, but would love to act.
Yeah.
Is there
Well,
places and spots for them?
Sweetie. Yes.
Almost.
The show we were just talking about actually isn't a musical.
Yeah.
It's just a play.
Oh,
So we
okay.
have
There you
plays,
go.
musicals, and also
Readings.
like readings.
Yep, stage
Like there's
readings.
pretty much anything for everyone.
You could
Try and make it
totally.
as inclusive as possible so
Yeah.
that everyone feels comfortable coming and feels like they have a place there despite their age or their experience or their specific
Their age and
talents.
their experience.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. If the 3 of us decide to be in a play, or Vera and I, or Audrey and I, or whatever, how much time, you know how
Yes,
busy
good
we all
question.
are.
What's our
Yeah.
commitment on our
to
end?
studying lines and putting it together.
All right, so the commitment time that we have, so for each show it's different. So like a play, of course, will be less time than a musical.
Right.
Just things like that because of music rehearsals.
The semi-sweet one or whatever.
Yes, the semi-sweet. We plan on having rehearsals lasting for about 4 weeks up to the festival.
One night a week, 2 nights a week?
It all depends on which show.
Yep.
We'll give
Okay.
you a little thing when you come in for
Okay.
audition to kind of give you a better idea.
Yeah,
Starting
exactly.
When, though? When would Veronique and I have to start getting together?
Oh, it would be probably, I believe, mid-July. That's when we start.
Yeah.
So just like the month leading up to the dates of August 13th to 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but you are also hosting, I believe, children's workshops up
Oh,
to then.
yes.
Yes.
So through the festival, we're starting like a theater camp for kids.
Ooh.
So-
Oh, I don't have a pen.
Thank
you, Judy.
For everybody at home, she threw the pen at me.
Yeah.
I'm getting real wild.
We don't know
on
where
set.
the camera was at the time, but she did.
Sean's going to say,
straight.
no more you girls. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Children's workshops, that's where we were at.
So I have 2 that I would like to do. So one will be elementary based and one will be like middle school, like grade 9 based.
Okay,
And
perfect.
so it'll be 4 weeks in July, and we'll be workshopping different things and trying to create a piece together, something we can produce at the festival.
Wonderful.
Oh, my
So just
man.
it's kind of just like an introduction to theater, like the fundamentals of acting, like projection, like those kind of things.
So many
Yeah.
kids will
Exactly.
want to do that.
Well, I
Yeah.
had done.
So
I
nice.
had put Danae in a little boot camp that
Yeah.
Mr. Gopi had put on, and Candace Curtis, and that was because I find the younger generation, they're YouTubing everything and they're karaokeing everything, and I was worried that she was going to start picking up bad habits. Right, or little
Yes,
things that you
yeah.
can pick up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course.
Trying to sound like other people instead of you're sounding like
Embracing
yourself.
her own tone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's just it. Her voice alone is beautiful, but she mimics so many other singers and
Right.
things like
Yeah.
that. I was like, oh, you don't want to get caught in that. And she went to that boot camp, and she would just, they taught her how to breathe when you
project, all
when you're
that good
speaking
stuff.
and all of
Yeah.
that. The health food, the stance, your posture, like,
know.
and
Awesome.
she had never heard like baritone, treble, what all
Yeah.
of those different, and she learned so much in 1 week.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So much to learn.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I love the fact that you're both willing to share what you learned, you know,
Yeah.
throughout your
Yes.
career, and
Yeah.
you both are
Exactly.
blessed. You're incredibly gifted
Oh, yes.
actors
Yeah.
and performers.
nurture and
yeah.
grow this.
So to be able to share that, I think that's a wonderful thing that you're both doing.
It's just very much a thing that theater has done for both of us. I know growing up, it's really something that we both hooked on to, and it's just something it's going through life, it's been something that just has really helped us as people.
Yeah.
I know, it just helps you be like a better person towards it's just,
does.
there's so many
And all
things
of my
that
like
help us.
most important relationships have come from theater. Like I would have met Lloyd if I didn't do theater. Like
Right.
David and Candace and
I know.
Sam. Like
Yeah.
just yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah,
And
I can't
providing
wait.
the community with such entertainment. I mean, how many
Yeah.
shows have we all been at?
Oh,
And
my-
for example, James and Hill Auditorium, where
Oh,
you've taken
gosh.
the stage along with all these other community members that are gifted and put on shows that makes everyone feel happy and good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or leaves a message. It could be a somber theme as well.
Yeah.
You've done some on mental health, which were powerful.
That was a
So it doesn't have
powerful-
to be comedic or dramatic. It can
No.
be something
All-
very heartwarming and people can relate to your theme.
Stillwater was
And
amazing. It really
Stillwater was, and
Yeah.
you walk away
Thank
thinking
you.
that this can happen to anybody, any day.
Yeah.
You know.
If there's anyone out there who hasn't experienced live theater,
Yeah.
like you really, really, really need to get out there and check out one of these shows or a little skit. You know what I mean? Take the time out of your day to do it, because there is nothing like it.
I
It
love
really isn't. You get a chance to be entertained and realize how much work and effort goes into putting something like
a
this
lot,
on.
Audrey.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. It really is.
Yep.
We want to thank you guys so much for doing this for
and
Miramichi.
keep us in the loop, and we'll
Yes.
share your information as well on our Facebook page. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. That'd be great.
So we have 2 minutes
Congratulations.
before we're all done. So we want to touch base on how can people get a hold of you if they don't just show up. Is there someone we can call or
100%.
Facebook page?
So we
Okay.
have a Facebook page, Buttercup Productions.
Okay, so what are we calling it? Facebook page?
A Facebook page, it's Buttercup Productions.
Buttercup.
Buttercup, yes.
Okay,
That's Sam's
you talk
production
very
company.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm like you
Sam's
talk really
I'm
fast.
very fast, it's natural. So it's Buttercup Productions. That's the theater company that I usually work under, so that's what
Okay.
we're doing the festival through.
Through. Okay.
Yes, and if you need the email, I believe the email is artistic director buttercup@gmail.com.
Yeah, and both events are on Facebook too. So on the Buttercup production page, or if you just search it on Facebook, there's the MRC Theater Festival
Okay.
2018.
It has its own event page.
Yep. It's just
Okay.
like we've just been like publishing it through Buttercup Productions because
Okay.
that has a little bit of a following.
Yep.
That's
so
right.
Just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
we show up on Friday,
Which we hope
you'll
you do.
have you'll have Saturday.
I can't go till Saturday.
No, you'll have material there.
I'm
to
off on
read.
Saturday.
Yes.
You're off on Saturday. Come along.
I'm doing the Relay for Life. I'm cutting hair
Good
ceremony.
for you though.
Right.
That's a wonderful thing.
But you will have material.
Lots of material, yes.
And the audition isn't very long either. I think we have them booked at like 5-minute
5-ish
slots,
minutes,
so
yeah.
5 to
Oh,
10
okay.
minutes.
Wonderful.
Good.
Yeah.
You're pumped, aren't you? You're
Yes.
really, and I'm so proud of you too.
I know. So
Yeah.
am I.
We're just hoping to reach as many people as we can and get many people involved as we can. So
Yeah.
Is your mother going to be there? I haven't
Of
seen your
course
mother
she
in
is.
forever.
Oh my
I need to
gosh.
give your mother a hug.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
We also have tickets for sale in
tickets.
advance. Yes, so
Okay.
tickets are for sale at Creative Grounds Cafe
Oh,
and
Chatham.
Perfect.
and Mill Cove Cafe in Newcastle.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So tickets available as well.
Starting
Okay,
on Friday.
we want to thank you guys so much for coming and telling us all about it, and we want to thank you to our viewers for watching. We'll see you again next week. Bye for now.
Bye.